They're having a holiday in Big City Port. There's some tale telling. Years of THEODORE Tugboat, Australia, Series 2, Episode 7, Visiting Upriver. Sunshine, Theodore, and Hank on holiday in Big City Port. It was now being taken place from other tugs who didn't know the other railway and other harbour were now a cool place. Upriver was just far away from the docks. The small tugs went up it. This is where I used to live, gentlemen. I was working here on my last day. Big City Port was coming to an end. What's been happening to it? Asked Theodore. We've never seen it the first time in bad states, said Hank. Well, I was hiding here and was working on the logs when the new tugs were arriving to work in Big City Port. They were looking for one white tug that used to work with them in the scrapyards. So I decided to move upriver. As I had my paint painted yellow, the new tugs called the black tugs were wanting to hunt me and scrap me for betraying doing the work of taking chain bits to the scrapyard's smelting shed. After we moved to Tasman Soda, the black tugs invaded Big City Port. To find us, I was left behind to do my last work taking the logs when I heard an invasion. I knew I had to leave my home. I didn't tell them where I lived, and that's when I had this terrible nightmare of my life. We'll talk in the shed of mine. Just here, in the middle of upriver. As they arrived, they had some talk. Sunshine started to worry. It's one of the black tags. They're trying to find where I am. They're finding us too, Sunshine. Let's hide in the forgotten creek. You said the shed was in. The tugs quickly went in Forgotten Creek. This is where Sunshine didn't tell the black tugs where he lived. Suddenly they stopped. The sound of the black tugs' talk seemed to have faded. That's strange. It must have passed quickly. The other. What do you mean I've passed quickly? The reason, Sunshine, why the torch of the black tugs has faded is because of the wind. Oh yes, I remember. When I was leaving, I put oil drums on the black tugs so I could leave in peace. But I still think any tug gang can come here to hunt me down. There was a tip yard where there were 4 youth tugs that were grey. I didn't know them and didn't introduce myself to them. Though I did the work of doing the recycle, it went okay until one of them was finding me annoying. Then I just said to them I was born in the scrapyard before they arrived, but they completely ignored him. The manager went to tell me I was on my own. I worked there for 90 years and has decided he went to tell me I was on my own. He worked there for 90 years and has decided to retire driving an engine. That's when I was beginning to think my first home was invaded. My manager was gone, and well, I was wanting to move to a new home after I went. After I finished with the recycle, that's when the grey tugs came up to me. They said quite stupidly, "This is what I can tell you. Once upon a time, there was a smallest tug named Sunshine. He lived in the recycle center, sorting out the recycle bits. The work he did was taking recycle from people's places. This was the best thing he ever did in his life until when he was arriving home finishing the work, he looked at the office booth, expecting to see the manager wants to be in it, but he wasn't. He'd left. And he left a note that said, "Dear Sunshine, I'm sorry to tell you that these great tugs are learners. They were made and abandoned. I made them by mistake. I used to work with them, but I betrayed them in secret. They came here for revenge after many years of one of your work, which is the first one, into a complete success. I'm sorry to tell you I have to leave your home. If you understand this letter, what's happening here, you better leave. These great tugs are greedy. And tell them about me. And this letter's you do your last work from the manager who betrayed the great tugs. Sunshine was beginning to realize his first home was invaded. He went to take some recycle bits to the big recycle box, dropped his barge, and was heading to the exit. Phew, work's done, he puffed. He was about to head for the exit when, out of the corner of his eye, he saw the 4 white tugs that blocked his way. The leader of the youth tug gang came up to Sunshine. "Good day, mate," he said. They happened to be Australian. "We came to England to find our manager because he betrayed us. We'll give you a break when you tell us where he is." Sunshine knew he had to tell them. If he'd tell a lie, he would bully him. "Look in his office, sir. There's a note," he said. "Come on, boys. Let's have a look," said the leader. The 4 great tugs went to the office. The exit was not open. Quietly, he turned round and steamed backwards, looking at the great tugs, picking up the note. "Oh, they don't notice," he told himself. Sunshine was out of the recycle centre and steamed off out into the open water. So his manager, which used to be our manager, was heading back to Australia to help a little black engine. "Well, let's get him there." Well, suddenly the 4 great tugs saw Sunshine was not here. He had escaped from view. "Little brat," the leader shouted angrily. "Just wait till I get hold of him. I want to break his blooming head." Sunshine was 100 miles away from the recycle centre and was on his way to find his new home. He was aware of his chasers about to chase him. "They can chase me whenever they like, those kids, and the good has to stop bad," he told himself. He saw the dots of the great tugs coming after him. "I'm smaller than them. I can hide in any spot. I can hide where I can find I can find where I can hide. Where could I find a place to hide? He saw the forest, turned, and went in it, just in time to avoid them looking for him. He turned his engine off and waited. "Slow down, boys," he heard one of the great tugs say. "The tug's got to be around here somewhere." "We've lost him, boss." "Drat. We'll have to find him later. Let's continue this work of his." Sunshine took a peep. To see where they were heading. They were heading back to his first home. The recycle center. Why didn't the manager tell me something when I did my first day's work? Doing the recycle, collecting, which was 2 days, he asked himself. He began to cry. Maybe it's because when he came here to be away from the great tugs, now I've regretted my life to escape, so they wouldn't bully me and scrap me. I shouldn't have been born when my work here wasn't lasting for the years to come. My manager was wearing some feeling of worry when he lied to me. Well, Sunshine, you were... Well, Sunshine, while you were waiting for me to get you ready, I went to the office to phone other dogs. There was a place called Upriver. We can go there and work in it. That's a good idea, driver, sir. I just hope the great tug should find me. He came out of the woods and began his trip to find Upriver, but he was still aware of his chasers. He came to the open water and went on his way. Looking back, the great tugs were not in sight. He whistled to see if they were. Then he heard the truffing. The great tug stopped halfway from the recycle center and saw Sunshine. They began to chase him. "There he is, boss. Great, we'll get him." Sunshine steamed off out of the woods. He was in the middle of nowhere, and he looked out for any land to get to. At last he was beginning to feel tired, but he couldn't stop. If he stopped, the great tugs would scrap him. "There's land, I hope I can make it," he puffed. But it wasn't land. Something was moving. Out of the water came a black pony. Everything was dark when she came standing on the surface. "Hello, Who are you? What is your trouble? The blackbird said. Sunshine was shocked to see some strange object out of the water. I'm Sunshine. Who are you? Aren't you going to scare me? No, I am not. I'm here to help you. I'm Nightmare Moon. I help engines, tugs who want support and help good souls. Tell me what trouble you have, and I'll give you a helpful gift. So Sunshine told Nightmare Moon what was happening. In fact, everything he could think of what was happening. I was born in the scrapyards, and my manager was in a worried way. He lied about the great chunks. He wrote a note when they arrived. I knew they were just wanting to rob an ended work living place. It was up to me to lose them, not after me. As I'm moving upriver, what can I do to get rid of them? I'll give you some magic smoke. It is mixed with the original smoke. Whenever you see them hunting you have to give them to me. You can take them out of the water. She gave him the magic smoke. And left after saying this to him. You just have to remember this advice. Life is important. Time is to tell. Any working machine is to find home, happy, great, and well. Sunshine steamed on. He looked back to see if the great chunks were still on his tail. They were, and they're about to catch up. I've got to delay them. I've got to get them out of my life, he whispered to himself. He huffed and puffed and found himself speeding away from the tugs. Sparks from his stack shot out at them. That got them scared. You see, they were a coward lot, and whenever they see fire, they don't do anything, just stand still, watching the flame. Watch him, he's tricky, said the leader. Sunshine saw land ahead. He'd just enough time to find upriver. He passed a sign that gave him relief. It said, Big Citrus Pot with upriver. There was a river going up. Very quickly he went up it, but was out of sight. The great tugs stopped. They lost him again. Why, you little brat! He came in here. Wait, guys, wait a minute. Listen. Hey, there he is. Up that river. Let's get him. Sunshine was pleased. Sunshine was pleased to find upriver, he found the dock manager who was waiting. "Hello," he said, "you must be Sunshine. I'm John Speck, the manager of the small dock in upriver. You're to take the ward." "Thanks, John. I'm much obliged." He steamed up to the mill, where many logs were turned from rough to smooth wood. "Ah, this'll be making me forget some long time in my first home," he thought. Suddenly Sunshine saw the great tugs again. They came bursting in. "Well, well, well, we finally meet again. Now we're going to give you a hard time. Look, you great tugs, I'm working, and if you're wanting to scrap me, well, you can't because you're just stupid with no care about what anyone's life is like. My manager betrayed you, so he worked with me till you came up, and learners like you aren't really to be born when you want to do criminal work. I don't care what you tell us to do. Just shut up and let us scrap you here. Of course we don't care about what anyone's life is like. We think anyone's life is just plain rubbish. We know you and every good thing are criminals." Sunshine puffed out magic smoke from its stack. It looked up to the leader of the great tugs, grabbed hold of him. "Hey, put me down, what are you doing? Giving you a punishment. You're to be out of water on land." "Oh no," cried the other tugs. "And the same goes for you three. Blocking me at the gate was not your idea of fun." The 4 tugs were out of the water. They were now badly shaken. Now tell me, what is your business of scrapping me? You're to tell me the truth, and you won't be living longer. Now you'll be given to Nightmare Moon." "What is this, Tug? Is this some kind of joke?" "No, it's not. Tell me now." The leader knew he had to confess the truth. "I was made and our manager betrayed us when we were finished. I met others who were also made. At first we were to wait for work, but we weren't told, so we became loners." "Oh, blooming heck, matey, that was very sad, your life." "Yeah, and we came up here to find him. We wanted him to tell us why he betrayed us, but he didn't know. We messed with you, and you got us into trouble into getting us on land." "Thank you. Ah, the black ponies come." "You're the great tugs, I suppose. Well, I have been wanting to meet you for some years. I'm to take your souls as I scrap you. Your engines will be used as new engines for anyone who needs them." The great tugs screamed as Nightmare Moon took out their engines. Then she sent them to the scrapyards. "No, no, not the scrapyards! In Australia, please, no! No!" "Thank you, Nightmare Moon. Now I can work in peace in my new home. You're welcome, Sunshine. It's all thanks to my advice. Theodore and Hank were silent. What happened to the great hugs after they were scrapped? Asked Hank. Oh, I think you'll know, said Sunshine. Oh yeah, I remember. The ship I was stuck with was taken to the scrapyards, being turned into forks, spoons, and knives. So your enemies were turned to them, and the engines from them were given to my friends in Big City Port. It's good to see upriver. It's a safe place to visit and where to work on the timber delivery. Theodore and Hank could only agree.